I told you guys about the New Jersey office park, the Samsung building, the ribbon cutting that happened in September, the reduction notice that happened by June the 30th at Samsung. It turns out that that story did not just stay in New Jersey. This is happening in other cities as well. This is happening in other companies as well. So this morning, it showed up in Oregon. Same exact playbook, but it happened in a different building. I'm going to open this show up with some numbers for you guys, all right? And it's going to be three numbers. Number one, 22%. That is how much Intel's data center and AI group grew last quarter. $5 billion in revenue. Intel is the comeback story. It is one of those stories that a lot of people are all in on. Their stock is up 22% from a year ago. And I want you guys to think about that because just a couple months ago, 12 plus, they weren't doing very good. The government had to buy a stake into Intel. They had to get rid of their CEO and bring in a new CEO that was a board member. Now things are looking a lot better at Intel. The division, though, that was making the money is the division that's also getting the layoffs. Intel confirmed it this week ahead of earnings on Thursday. Number two, 5%. That's another number. And that is how much Intel stock is up this morning before the earnings even landed. You got chip stocks across the board are rising with it. What did we talk about on yesterday? Yesterday's discussion was the bloodbath, right? Today, it's a little bit different. What's happening in the stock market this morning? The exact same week that the cuts got announced, their stock is up 5%. Number three, $190 billion. That is what Microsoft says it needs for AI this year, for AI spend. $190 billion from one company. Now, I want you guys to hold on to that number for me real quick. Hold on number one and hold on number two. Hold on to it at the same time. You got a division that grew 22%, and that division is now losing people, and the stock went up anyway. You also got Wall Street that ain't punishing it. They actually are rewarding it. All happening at the same time. So that is today's whole show, guys. And here's the thesis behind today's show. The stock market cannot make up its mind on AI. Down hard last week because of Kimi K3, Moonshot AI, their new model, Frontier model, is supposed to be free. Down last week. This week, bouncing back this morning. Even Jim Cramer is split in half on it. And we're going to get into a lot of Jim Cramer today. But inside the actual buildings itself, nobody is waiting on the market to decide. And Intel has already decided, Microsoft has already decided, and a company called Curative already decided as well, and they canceled a $600,000 contract to prove it. So the market is arguing. The decisions already got made. And your job this morning is to see both of those things happen at the same time at once. Because here's the thing, when you're working in this field, your paycheck, it is sitting inside of one of these companies. Your paycheck is sitting inside of one of these numbers on the number line. All right. I want you guys to type 22 in the chat. If a growing division that's making all record money, they're celebrating all in the conference rooms, town halls, 22% growth. The same division got announced. A lot of people were getting cut. It's going to be a fantastic show, data heavy, but this is going to tell you something today. I'm going to explain exactly what's happening because the way how Wall Street is looking at this whole thing and at companies in this AI is legacy. And I want you guys to think about that. Legacy. A lot of people talk about legacy, but I want to put it into terms of corporate America. And guys, if you are brand new here, welcome to the show. Every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Central, we read the market so that you can read your career. Market intelligence translated into business strategy. This is the Daily Climb. Let's look at the data. I'm Antoine Wade. Go ahead and break it down to segment one, guys. Let's get into the data. Intel. Intel is laying off people inside of its data center and AI group. And that is the team that builds the server chips. That is a team that builds the AI hardware. And the news broke this week ahead of Thursday's earnings call. So they're going to be releasing earnings this week on Thursday morning. Intel has not said how many jobs that's going to be cut. So we're not going to guess what that number is. But I want you guys to look at the article that's actually out here right now on Intel and how well they're doing. Intel launches fresh layoffs in data center and AI unit ahead of earnings as Lit-Bhutan pushes turnaround strategy. And here's what we know so far. And here's what it has been confirmed. So that division pulled in $5.05 billion last quarter, up 22% from last year. Okay. CEO Lit-Bhutan. Many of you guys have heard me talking about CEO Lit-Bhutan. He was a board member that got he took over the seat for the previous CEO, came in, and he's from Malaysia, I believe. He has a Malaysian background. He's been a leader of over many companies, and he's doing a freaking pretty darn good job, but he is pretty cutthroat. He understands the business and he knows how to run a business. So he took the job in March of last year to fix Intel. His own company said the cuts are about becoming, quote, more focused and efficient as an organization. Using the corporate words, the corporate language, okay? More efficient, more focused as an organization. This isn't a change in strategy. This is a change in headcount. So inside the one part of the company that is growing, he is getting rid of people. In the traditional ways, in the traditional legacy world, the company that's growing typically is the one that's adding more headcount. That's right, right? I mean, you think about it. The company that is the part of the business is growing is where the majority of the resources go. That's the legacy way. That's not how it's working today, guys. That is not how it's working today. That was the legacy way of going about doing it. Today, it is, hey, you know what? If you're growing, you still have to be nimble. You have to be efficient. And that's the way how CEO Lit-Bhutan is running it. I'm going to share a video with you guys on Jim Cramer talking just about this. Let's put it over here real quick. And we're going to be talking about the Intel turnaround.
Now, let's talk about the winners. I can probably take my phone back, my watch back. No, let's leave it off. The winners for the quarter. The biggest gainers are the exact opposite of the Mag 7. They make products that are in short supply with demand that's off the charts. The two biggest winners in tech for it now, second quarter, pair of memory companies, SanDisk and Micron. We have Sanjay Mehrotra, the CEO of Micron, on later tonight. Last week, they reported one of the biggest beat and raise quarters I've ever seen. Memory prices going through the roof. SanDisk has done well, too. Both stocks have more than tripled in the last 3 months. Next is Intel, currently my favorite stock. CEO Lit-Bhutan has turned this company around. Intel has three major growth opportunities. First, semiconductors, leader in CPUs, essential for AI agentics. Second, chip packaging, bundling semis, carries very big margins. Lit-Bhutan came from that industry. He knows it. Finally, Intel's building foundries to actually manufacture chips. It could be the company to solve the memory shortage one day. National treasure.
National treasure, Jim Cramer calls it. Intel. This is the company that a lot of people are paying very close attention to, guys. This is a company that was knocked down all the way down to the bottom. This is a company that a lot of people are putting their money towards, and I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I'm not just looking at it from the career strategy on Intel. I'm looking at it from a strategy of how much money that I can make on Intel as well, too. But I want you to zoom out with me for a quick second, because this is not a one-time thing at Intel. So the company has gone from nearly 132,000 employees in 2022 down to around 81,000 today. That is close to 40% of the whole workforce gone in just 4 years. More than 5,000 of those cuts landed last year, mostly in California, Oregon, Arizona, and Texas. And the industry around Intel is bleeding the same exact way. Tech has cut over 121,000 jobs so far in 2026. That already nearly matches all of 2025 in just 1 year. And that's just the tech industry. I want you guys to type cut in the chat if a company slashing its own growth engine sounds backwards to you. It does sound backwards to me, but I also know that things have changed because it's no longer growth and headcount. Those two were once together. That is no longer the case. Growth in headcount is no longer the case with AI and efficiency. And that's how these things are being priced these days. Now, here's where it almost gets pretty darn funny, okay? Because, well, it ain't funny if it's with your job. If you're one of the ones that were laid off, it ain't funny at all. But on Monday night, Jim Cramer went on Mad Money. And I like to watch Jim Cramer on Mad Money. I subscribe to all his stuff because, I like to make the right money moves. But he told his viewers to be careful on tech right now. Those were his words. Okay? Be careful on tech right now, he said. He said, if you own too much of tech, you're going to be slaughtered and you won't even know what hit you. Had this conversation with my cousin on yesterday. We're walking around, I think it was the Union Hall, wherever the big train station used to be down here in Washington, D.C., downtown capital. Okay. Beautiful place, all filled with a whole bunch of restaurants and so forth. Having a good time. We're talking about AI, which, he works for the government, and we're just having a conversation about AI. I'm just saying, hey, right now, I don't see it going very much higher. I'm like, it's something has to correct pretty darn soon. But that was just my opinion. But you're hearing Jim Cramer saying the exact same thing. Jim Cramer said it's time to put new money into other sectors for a while. Companies such as FedEx, companies such as Honeywell, companies such as Goldman Sachs. That's what he said, okay? I'll let you guys listen in on this one as well, too. Of Jim Cramer saying just exactly this. In 1 second, let me get this on the screen.
In the end, today was a day to buy FedEx. It was a day to pick up some Honeywell Aerospace. Real down. Hey, how about buying some GE? It was down a ridiculous amount even after it got the biggest order for its 1,000 LEAP engines to power the Airbus A320neos, part of a joint venture. That wasn't enough. I was shocked that the stock wasn't up on that news. Instead, it fell nearly $8. Kind of a crazy market. But to buy more tech, only if we get a washout sell-off first, where all the margin mongers and the option ogres, they just get blown out.
He's not interested into tech right now, okay? He's not interested in the tech right now. There's so much that's going on in tech, and, a lot of money is rattling that area. And you saw it. You saw it the other day on Friday. You saw it last week. But I want you guys to listen to what he says 2 breaths later. And I'm going to read this. He says he's still bullish on NVIDIA, and he's still bullish on Intel. Those two specifically. So ahead of Thursday's earnings, he called Intel, quote, the triple play. Because here's the thing. CPUs. And who's the person that's saying it right now? Code Analytical is in here saying it. MAB is in here saying it. Right? CPUs. Let me adjust the audio a little bit. Cam says the audio is a bit low. You got CPUs. You got chip packaging. And you got RAM. All of that is what Intel is banking on right now, and a growing foundry business. And then he said this. He says Intel is a national treasure. You heard him say that. A national treasure. So sit with that for a quick second. The same week Intel was cutting the division that's growing, one of the loudest voices on Wall Street calls the company a national treasure. Both of those things are true on the same Tuesday. The market is not confused about Intel's value. It confessed about who gets to keep building. And the companies that get to keep building and their stock goes up are the companies that have a strong strategy play. CPUs, foundry business, packaging, who's also growing revenue, double digits, and also reducing headcount. Those are the companies that are getting rewarded. I want you guys to look at those data signals in the company that you're working for right now, because those are the little things that you need to pay attention to determine if you are one of the ones that are let go, even if you are in a growth area, even if you are in a growth business unit. It can happen. Intel closed on Monday up 2%. Kept climbing afterwards, in the after hours. I see a little bit of yellow here on my mic. Make sure we adjust it a little bit more. How's my volume coming in now, Ken? Let me know. But the stock is up more than 317% over the last year. Layoffs and all. That's the whole lesson of this segment in one line, guys. The market don't pay you for headcount. It pays you for proof that the company can run lean. And this is important. The company can run lean and still win. That's what it's rewarding now.